What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. We have another major train catastrophe here. This time, take a look here at this. Bridge collapse sends train carrying hazardous materials into the Yellowstone River. Freight train plunges into Yellowstone River after bridge collapse, sparking fears of hazardous spill as residents are told to conserve water. Yeah. Yeah, you can see here Montana rail bridge collapse causes derailment. Chemical spills are in the river. Here are some pictures. I'll show you some more here. And you got to kind of wonder, how long is this stuff going to be allowed to happen? It seems like it's always something with these railroad companies who are making billions and billions of dollars. And catastrophes like this seem to happen on a weekly basis. It's unbelievable, right? Yeah, so here is another view of it. You can see the bridge completely collapses, and this is a rail-only bridge. Okay, so yeah, here's another footage here. I'll bring up some more views here. Um, wow, and it's the officials said it contained asphalt and unknown substances still being investigated. I got some more details here for you that we'll go through here in a second. Right into the Yellowstone River. Wow. And this is nasty. A large emergency response has been launched in Montana after a freight train collapsed into the Yellowstone River. Officials have introduced emergency measures amid fears the train was carrying hazardous materials. The toxic spill comes months after another train derailment sparked chaos in East Palestine, Ohio. Montana residents have been warned to conserve water after a freight train potentially carrying hazardous materials has collapsed into the Yellowstone River. A large emergency response has been seen in the area amid concerns of a toxic spill after the bridge collapsed. It was initially feared oil or petroleum was contained in the cargo train, but the Yellowstone County Sheriff Office said it was later determined that they contained asphalt and a second substance that officials are working to confirm. Water treatment facilities throughout the area have introduced emergency measures due to the crisis. Despite warnings to conserve water, officials said there's currently no threat to life in the area. Yikes. The toxic spill comes months after a cargo train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, sparked mass evacuations as residents were subjected to painful side effects of another hazardous runoff. A total of 8 rail cars are involved in a quote, great stroke of luck. None contained oil. I'm not sure if I would call this a great stroke of luck, but you could let me know your thoughts in the comments. The cars contained asphalt and a second substance that they're working to confirm, and described it as slow moving and have not gone much past the initial scene. The public is asked to stay away from the scene to prevent congestion. Ooh. Montana Fish Wildlife Parks are also warning locals to avoid water from certain parts of the river and to avoid water due to possible contact with contaminants as well, the local department tweeted. According to the Billings Gazette, the train fell into the water after a bridge. After a bridge it was crossing collapsed under the weight of the carriages. So there you go. The outlet claimed the bridge had recently been battered by high water levels as a result of storms in the south central Montana area. So there you go. Yet again, the train industry has been criticized. Really, the East Palestine train disaster, we'll call it, has brought light to the amount of train disasters that we've had. See, a lot of people don't know this because they're not reported on here, but I'll bring a little bit of light to it here. If you haven't been watching my show, you didn't see it when we were covering it here. But take a look at this. In 2022, last year, there were more than 1,000 train derailments in the US. There were at least 1,164 train derailments across the country last year, according to the Federal Railroad Administration. There are about 3 train derailments per day, every single day. Yikes. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. This is how many of them there are. And we only hear about the really, really disastrous ones, like one that literally go into rivers with toxic materials or blow up entire towns, and send atomic bomb like materials into the atmosphere that you can see from space. Yeah, remember that? But this has got out of control, and then they try to go pass legislation in Congress, and they can't even do it. So this just kind of gives you insight into the problems in our country, and a lot of the legislation or lack thereof is left up to the railroad companies to police themselves, and they don't. In fact, we've seen these railroad companies have actually been cutting back on staff, cutting back on safety measures, cutting back on employees, all in the effort to save the almighty dollar, to save a buck or two or a billion. And this is what happens. So they try to save $1 billion, and in the end, we end up seeing safety be the leading factor that ends up taking a hit. Yeah, and we've seen whistleblower after whistleblower after whistleblower, or concerned citizens or entire towns saying, what is going on here? And this is just, you can let me know your thoughts here in the comments, but it's like, this is just one industry where we kind of got to look and say, is this what we want for our country? Do we want to see entire towns being blown up, rivers having trains go into them with asphalt and unknown substances, and who knows what going on? I mean, it's just literally a matter of time until it's your city or town, or maybe it's already happened in your town or city, and it's just like, this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. And this is just one problem going on in our country. And this has been going on for years. This is going on for years. In fact, the past administration actually weakened legislation and rules for the train industry, the railroad industry, so that they could, move forward. But the problem is, all they did was use it to save money, cut back on jobs, actually, safety jobs and engineer jobs and like that, so they could make more money and make their shareholders more happy. And I get it. I'm an investor. I understand that. But it's like, are they saving more money when they're actually crashing 3 trains a day? Don't forget, I used to run a transportation limo and bus company, one of the largest in the state. And, I sold it like over 10 years, yeah, about 11 years ago. And we had over 15,000 customers when I sold it. And, if I had vehicles crashing, I don't think I would be saving money by saving in safety. I mean, that's just my thought. You can let me know your thoughts here in the comments, but I was the type of guy that, like, I had spare batteries, spare alternators, spare tires, even spare transmissions for some of our vehicles, because we had 4 Hummer limos, actually. And, during the busy season, like, I would literally make more money by swapping one in and swapping one out, because these vehicles would make thousands of dollars a day. And if I swapped one in and swapped one out, it would make me more money than having it down for 2 or 3 or 4 days during the busy season. That's just me. I mean, if you think trains crashing into rivers and blowing up cities is better, I mean, let me know your thoughts here in the comments if you think that that's a better business plan for billion-dollar companies. So I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. But some of this stuff is absurd, absolutely absurd, and it's blowing up our country, for lack of a better term. Yeah. So make sure to subscribe down below. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on everything going on here. I'll keep you up to date here. Thanks for liking and sharing our videos. Here's some videos you should watch next. People are preparing right now for what Putin is planning for. And here is Biden's new executive orders he just passed. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.